Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today we are back breaking down more of the crazy news that came out today about The Division 2. The video I released this morning was all about more of the fun news, right? The sweeping new changes, revisions, and fixes coming with Project Resolve. That is a brand new health update for the game. If you want all of the information on that, I will link it up in the top corner and down in the description below. But now, we also need to focus on the other huge news of the day, which is the fact that Year 6 content got officially confirmed. The Division 2 will continue official support into 2025 minimum. But because of Project Resolve, the Brooklyn DLC that we were all anxiously awaiting for Year 5 Season 4 has been delayed, and so previous stuff that was going to be at the end of Year 5 will now be partially filled out across the Year 6 roadmap. So there is a brand new roadmap to go over. I want to break it all down and give my thoughts on it. And if you enjoy consistent coverage on the Division 2 like this, then be sure to hit that like, subscribe, bell, all the good things. I appreciate you. To start, let's just cover the new roadmap itself, and then I'll give some of my thoughts. So here's what they are calling the revised roadmap. It starts with Year 5 Season 3, which on the other roadmap said February 6th, so I think for now that is a tentative release date. That will be bringing Project Resolve. Again, if you want all the details of what that encompasses, check out that other video. The new Manhunt, we know we are returning to New York, getting additional details about Aaron Keener, the Warlords campaign, all of that, as well as an apparel event. Year 5 Season 4 is now no more. It will switch then to Year 6 Season 1 to get quality of life improvements, a new Manhunt, and an apparel event. Year 6 Season 2 will then tackle Seasons 2.0. That was one of the big components of the previous Year 5 Season 4. So we'll get that, a new Manhunt, and apparel event. And then in 2025, it says we will get Year 6 Season 3, which is the new Story Brooklyn DLC, a new Manhunt, and a new apparel event. So my initial reaction to all of this is, of course, a degree of disappointment. The DLC and endgame revamp were originally slated for around March 2024, then it got bumped to summer when they made the switch to the 4-month seasons. And now we know that we're not going to be boots on the ground in Brooklyn for over a year from right now, not until 2025. I do think it's important to point out why this is happening. They said in the stream that this is because the entire development team on the Division 2 across Massive, Bucharest, maybe even Shanghai, when they decided to do Project Resolve, they had to transition all efforts to that, basically, in order to get it done. They had to make this reform for how the game's infrastructure is set up in order to support these things they're doing in the future. Now, in fairness, I have seen so many people in comments on my own videos, and I'm sure there's more across the community, saying over the past months and even year, 2 years since, content resumed, of people saying, who cares about new content, delay it all to fix the game. If that is you, I better not see you complaining about this DLC getting pushed back, alright? You got your wish. They are delaying the future new content to make drastic changes to the infrastructure of the game. And don't get me wrong, that is a positive thing. If Resolve makes the game more stable, it runs better, it's easier for them to add new stuff to it, that is a big plus. But subsequently, what this does mean is that we went from what looked to be a pretty big year in 2024 to kind of a barren one. Year 6 Season 1 is basically going to be another Season 11 where there's no big new content or other notable features, at least that we know of yet. It just says on the list quality of life. We'll see what that ends up being. The big question mark for me is Year 6 Season 2. It states that we get Seasons 2.0, which is great, but my question is, does that also include the entire endgame redesign, the new gear item? We know we're getting basically everything that was promised with that. From their previous wording, that stuff always seemed to be more incorporated with Seasons 2.0 as opposed to the DLC itself, so if that is the case, I can live with this. That would mean that starting in February, the game should feel a lot better. When we get Project Resolve, it should be much more fun to play on the day-to-day. We'd then have a 6-ish month period of manhunts between Season 3 and Year 6 Season 1, maybe some small changes in there. And then in around Q3 2024 or so, we get the big redesign, the new item to grind for, tons of new changes, the new season structure. After that, we'd then get a few months to be acquainted with that, and then we head to Brooklyn in early 2025. If that is the case, I can live with that, right? But we're just going to have to wait and see if that is actually what they have planned. Again, they don't specify here if the endgame redesign is coming alongside Seasons 2.0 or the Brooklyn DLC. One point of concern that I do have is that regardless of how good or comprehensive Project Resolve is, the Brooklyn DLC is still going to have bugs. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you. It's Division, it's this new team. I'm sure Resolve can improve the infrastructure to lessen the severity and quantity of bugs and issues that we've seen with this game over the past year and a half, 2 years. But if you were expecting this DLC to be bug-free because of this delay, I significantly doubt it. That's unfortunate. That is also just my take, right? Keep that in mind. That might not be the case, but I would not set your expectations to be that this DLC is going to be perfect and bug-free because of the delay. It's probably just not realistic. Overall, I am very pleased that The Division 2 is still receiving this level of care and support. You know, haters gonna hate, but the people that are working behind this game clearly very much care about the experience. They care about the players playing it, and I'm very glad that that is still the case. And we now know that we're going all the way into 2025. I think no question this game will continue to get content even after the DLC to fill the gap up until Division 3. I think that's been their plan ever since that was decided upon. And hopefully, Project Resolve is kind of a great first step to unlock all of that future stuff and a better future for the Division 2 and the Division overall. But my friends, that is what you can look forward to with the Division 2. We now know the updated or revised roadmap as they call it, getting a year 6, getting also some delays to stuff we were expecting. It's a lot to go over, and I want to hear all of your thoughts on it down below. What's your take on the Seasons 2.0 endgame redesign Brooklyn DLC kind of slicing? Where do you think that's all going to fall? What do you think about the delay? What do you think about stuff even beyond year 6? I want to hear it all. Let me know down below. That is going to do it for me today, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Ow.